Welcome back. You are watching Capital Connection, and as you know that we were talking about the post-election scenario. Now the big thing is that it is almost certain that Imran Khan is going to be Pakistan's next Prime Minister. But as you know that people have voted him to power because there were huge expectations, because they believe that he would turn around this country and this country becomes really a great country, economic prosperity and peace and everything. Faisal, do you think that this is easier said than done?
Doing what?
This expectations,
proving
this
that there were allegations of rigging?
No, rigging. Just moving forward, let's say that Imran Khan is going to be our Prime Minister.
What do you call moving forward? I really
do you think that he would really break from the past and the way he has been saying? He wants to really bring a new change.
To the earlier point that we were trying to make, I just want to add, look, what do you call petty politics? Do you call rigging, allegations of rigging and then glossing over it and moving forward? Is that what you call petty politics, or do you really want to investigate why people are saying there have been widespread allegations of rigging? Do you want to investigate?
I mean, what is the way
forward?
Individually people are doing? People are requesting recounting, whatever way that is available before the election commission. They are doing it.
In some constituencies. In some constituencies, recounting has been denied.
They can go to the court for that.
They can go to the court to that, but the normal procedure should be followed. The law says you have to go for a recount if one of the candidates asks you to recount.
It appears that you are suggesting that we should accept the demand of Maulana Fazlur Rahman. We should go for re-election.
A re-election.
Why not? What's wrong with Maulana Fazlur Rahman? I mean, if you don't like his face or the way he is politicking, I don't think that you should.
No, but it's a long shot calling, for re-election. It's not.
And who is going to pay for that? Are we going to pay for that again?
Don't get me wrong. I was talking about investigating rigging. I'm not talking about holding re-election.
No, my point is that there is a proper way that if any candidate has concerns, he can go to the returning officer, he can go to the election commission, and I believe all the grieving candidates are doing exactly that.
No, that's not exactly happening. I'm telling you, the Election Commission of Pakistan is creating obstacles. The people who have applied for recount, they're not getting their demand. So they may move the court and say, look, this is what.
So they have a chance. They can go to the higher courts.
Yeah. Recount should be done if they're asking for it, where the margin of victory is, lesser than the rejected number of votes. There should be a recount.
But is it fair? Is it fair that given our fragile democracy, should this issue hijack this historic moment? Some people may call it.
So then I may raise the question: if investigating rigging would add to the fragility of our democracy, or would strengthen or bolster democracy? So that's exactly the point. You just cannot leave this agenda halfway and move forward. We know 2013 there have been allegations of rigging. In every elections there have been allegations of rigging. Please investigate. Please see what has gone wrong and then move forward. And I'm not even saying that you should not form a government and People's Party or PMLN should not go to the parliament. They should go to the parliament.
But I would want revert back to my original question. There are huge expectations, obviously, that people have voted for change. So do you think that Imran Khan will be in a position, given the people like Jahangir Tareen around and a number of other people who were part and parcel of this forces of status quo, we may call it. Do you think that among these peoples he would be able to really steer the country in a new direction?
Challenges to the state are grave, whether they are economic challenges or foreign policy challenges or internal security challenges. One aspect of PTI which you are saying they are the old faces. The other aspect is that there are certain new faces too, and media needs to highlight those new faces too. Who are the new faces? Asad Umar, a young professional and he has a vast experience as CEO of various big business and handling multinationals. And then there are faces like in KP, Atif Khan, who has performed very well in education sector.
No, but the point is, do you think that they have enough influence on Imran Khan? Because Imran Khan is surrounded by the likes of Jahangir Tareen, Shah Mahmood Qureshi, Babar Awan, Fawad Chaudhry, and we know their track record.
Not necessarily. If you look at Jahangir Tareen and Shah Mahmood Qureshi, certain number of people were denied party tickets despite the fact that they were recommended by Shah Mahmood or Jahangir Tareen. So they are utilized, and it remains to be seen who will get the slot of Punjab Chief Ministership. So there is a fierce competition in between. But Imran Khan will have to select his own team, and this is the most important aspect, what kind of people he will choose. And the third thing is that a hope has been generated, whether we like it or not. And if that hope fails to materialize in reality, this will be not good for the country.
So let me ask this question. Do you think there is a possibility, because in his victory speech, for example, that he talked about certain austerity measures, he said that he is not going to sit there sprawling prime minister office. He would declare that educational institution. Then he also said that all the governor houses in the 4 provinces would be declared public places. And then there are also reports that now he wants to have his ceremony taking place at an open place where thousands of people
more
attend
like
that
a US version of it.
US version. Do you think that these steps really indicate that we are heading for a change, or these are just optics, not major?
You see, this could be optics if they stay up to the level of just speaking. And if we actually see it, then that might be, indicating towards a change. But before that, I just want to quickly go back. The vote count, and we go back to the ECP, and if there is a rigging allegation, you have to go to the ECP, but there's a certain limit to that. According to the law, if the victory is less than 5% of the total votes polled, or 10,000 votes, then you can actually go for the vote count. If somebody tries to overplay it politically and he doesn't have the prerequisites met, then that person cannot get their recounting done. That is one thing to be definitely taken into account, because there would be a lot of political point scoring on this point as well. That, see, Imran Khan said that you are going to open all the constituencies where we ask, and they're not opening it. But you have to meet the prerequisites.
But talking about expectations and bringing a change, do you
That
think there is a real possibility that Imran
you're
Khan can do
pointing
that?
towards a mammoth task that is in front of PTI. Whether they like it or not, there would be a lot of bashing from us, the media, from the people who have voted them in, from the opposition, who is going to be pretty strong, we might say. They have economic challenges. They have promised the 100-day plan that is over-ambitious, might I say. They've promised, 10 million jobs. They've promised 50 lakh houses for the poor people. How are they going to cater to that? They had already said we're not going to go to IMF. They've already said we're going to go to IMF. Asad Umar just announced that. What austerity measures are we talking? We're looking at 12 trillion rupees task, that is in terms of economy, they're looking forward to. Then is the security task. He's talking about India, strengthening relationships with India, but then Indian army is on high alert because Imran Khan is there. And then Afghanistan in itself is a challenge. He says that we would like to have an open border with them, but then who would let him have open border?
Some critics would say that whether Imran Khan would really be in charge when it comes to Pakistan's national security and foreign policy.
Of course, if you look at the allegations, the pre-poll allegations, that is exactly what the allegation is, that the establishment has stepped in, interfered, has asked certain people to form groups and had asked certain people to join Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Even if you look at Nawaz Sharif's narrative, he says his case has been blown out of proportion, and
but does this necessarily mean that he would, once he becomes the Prime Minister, he would follow the same policy?
I don't think so. The Prime Minister's office has its own responsibilities, has its own functions, and Imran Khan would have to flow with that, and he would have to deal with the establishment itself, and he would get a taste of what the people, what People's Party have been saying, and what PMLN has been saying, what establishment.
But do you believe that he would be different from his? Do you believe that he would be different from his predecessors?
Well, I think so. Imran Khan, when you compare Imran Khan with Nawaz Sharif or Asif Ali Zardari, you don't have that usual allegations of corruption against Imran Khan. Well, his personal self, maybe it may be a different aspect altogether. A case is pending before the Islamabad High Court, which has been filed by former Chief Justice Iftikhar Mohammad Chaudhry for disowning his daughter. What's her name? I totally forgot.
Tyrion White.
Tyrion White. So there's a case on his, that reflects his personal life. But there has not been a single allegation with regard to corruption against Imran Khan.
And I think that is the most crucial thing. And another point some people talk about, that he has that because obviously he was a cricketing star. He has that charisma. He can connect to the people, and many people really reacted positively to his victory speech. Do you think that that can also be handy for Imran Khan?
Yes, if you look at the victory speech, the content and the appeal or the other aspects, the variety of aspects which he highlighted was much better than his election campaign. And I think if he strengthens the institution and he brings back financial discipline and there is more professionalism in bureaucracy, and if that perception is strengthened and prevailed in society that he means business.
But do you think that he can single-handedly can do that? Because there are people who really support this status quo. They have their vested interests. But they certainly won't like to have this happen.
Here lies the challenge, and in every challenge there is an opportunity, and this will be the real test case of Imran Khan. We have seen in the past it is not difficult. For example, Bhutto came with a reform agenda and manifesto, and in his first 100 days he implemented. He gave a labor policy, later on a constitution, nationalization. So if you want to implement, you can try at least
but
try to implement.
But we also understand what happened to Zulfikar Ali Bhutto then. So I mean
that is the part of the game. If you
don't you think, Anika, that now we should change that game? At least he should be the first Prime Minister to complete full 5-year term, and then we can assess his performance and vote based on his performance rather than on
completing the full
petty
5
issues.
terms. I think we all know it doesn't depend on Imran Khan only. It depends on a lot of factors. A lot of factors might be how he goes along with the rest of the institutions, how he takes forward
or the rest of institutions, how they go along with him.
Exactly. I mean,
both
vice versa. Vice versa. It's a two-way, of course. It's a two-way relationship. I think Imran Khan could be different in comparison to his predecessors in a way that he's very, very strong-headed. And if he wants to decide something, he doesn't listen to even his own family members. And that might be a problem when it comes to politics, because politics doesn't work like that, and working with institutions, it doesn't work like that. You have to give and take for the betterment of Pakistan, as long as it is for the betterment of Pakistan, as long as it is. So Imran Khan would be facing this challenge as well, that how he goes along with it. He doesn't even listen to Jahangir Khan Tareen or Shah Mahmood Qureshi when it comes to something that he believes in and he needs to do. For example, a lot of people that JKT wanted to add into PTI, he did not because of certain reasons, and a lot of people that SMQ was, or Shah Mahmood Qureshi was opposing, he did add because he thought they're going to be adding value. When he becomes a Prime Minister, there's an aura, and there's an aura of being a Prime Minister. If he is able to actually fulfill his responsibilities, make the image of being a positive Prime Minister.
We have to conclude here, but there is of course a big if that whether he will be able to deliver, because the kind of challenges that Pakistan is facing at the moment.
Don't forget,
it is a huge challenge.
The political parties wanting to go for his throat in the name of rigging. They're going to put up big protests.
So all these equations, really make this next 5 years, or maybe less than that, very interesting and intriguing. That's it from this edition of Capital Connection. Many thanks, Anika, Tahir Malik, and Mr. Faisal Shakil. That's it from this edition of Capital Connection. Thanks for watching.